What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we're gonna try and figure out if the Sig P320 is drop safe. We have 5 different models of Sig 320, the M17, 2 Sig compacts, a full size, and then finally a Sig X5 Legion. And we plan on dropping each one of those 10 different times in a multitude of different ways to see if it'll actually go off.
Do you want to leave them up there for a while?
I'll get down eventually. We also plan on wiggling the slide, messing with it a whole bunch, and doing a little Wyoming gun project to see if we can get it to discharge that way as well. Is that my trigger? No, I'm not claiming this is gonna be the absolute test. This is simply a data point. Today, we're gonna try to figure out if these Sig firearms will discharge or not, and that will not be a representation of your gun. And just because your gun will go off doesn't mean these will, and if these guns go off, that doesn't mean yours will either. Now, I do wanna mention that I am not a paid Sig influencer. Sig has never paid me any money, and we also purchased all of the guns that you will see on this video with the patron dollars. I'm also not a Sig fanboy. I do like a lot of Sig products, including the Sig P320, the MPX, and the MCX. However, I've personally never been a fan of the 320, so I don't really have a dog in this fight. I don't care whether the gun passes or not, man. I'm completely unbiased. I'm just here for the fun, entertainment, and again, to add a data point to a very large and very complicated argument. I also do want to mention that I do not appreciate how Sig actually handled their social media debacle. I'm just here to help you make informed buying decisions and help you decide which firearm is right for you in the best way that I can, which is go out there and test them. I also want to mention that there's been several other drop tests on the internet that you can reference besides this one in case you're interested, including Grand Thumbs, which honestly gave me the inspiration. Now we're going to head down to my range and we'll take a look at the firearms we're going to be using for the test, and I'll also show you the prime cases which we are going to use. This test is going to be safe for us to do since there are no bullets in the actual casings themselves. Nothing can come out of the barrel, but it will show whether or not the striker has been dropped on the primer or not. This is a Sig M17. This is the military standard issue pistol currently. This is actually an original M17 as well. I think this is prefix and this was never sent in. So we're gonna see if this one has any issues, either with the wobble, because it's very wobbly, or we're gonna drop it a whole bunch of times with these right here, which are just primered shells. And if the gun actually goes off in the holster, like many people claim, these will actually go off and make a little poof, but it is safe for us to do. Now the second one we have here is a brand new pistol. This is actually a Sig P320 X5 Legion. Now this is the tungsten version of the 320, and this is a brand new, out of the box, made this year X5 Legion. And this one actually has a slightly lighter trigger, so we're gonna see if that has any issues. The next one is a heavily used 5-inch Sig P320, and this one is sort of in between those two as far as age, of course. This is a Sig P320 X compact, I believe, and this one is actually our Sig 320X, I believe, right here. This is their compact or slightly subcompact. So we got a whole bunch of sizes, weights, and I also want to thank Marshall over at Shields for storing up a bunch of 320s that everybody traded in the big craze, and I got them for pretty cheap, so we appreciate you, Marshall. He has some social media that he'd love for you guys to check out. All right, first we're going to start with the old classic, the M17. So we have an empty magazine here. We're going to throw it in, lock it back.
Straight
and we have one of our prime cases here, as you can see there, has a primer in the case. It's not just an empty case. We're gonna pop it in the chamber, if I can get it in there. It's always tough to stick it in the first time. There we go. All right, first thing we're gonna do, you can come up close. First thing we're gonna do is a wobble test. Not so far. Got a lot of wobble, and I'm pulling the trigger just a little bit to slightly disengage that safety and see if we can make that other safety go off. So far, not so much. All right, that seems to be clear, at least from my testing. We'll try it one more time. Seems to be good. Okay, now we'll do the drop test. So first up, we'll drop it, and we'll drop it on the nose. Generally, if you're gonna make a gun go off in a drop test, it's usually inertia. So we're gonna drop it nose down. The second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drop it back down. Third thing we're gonna do is drop it butt down. And the fourth thing we're gonna do is drop it on its head. It doesn't have a head. Nope. We'll try it one more time on the nose. Now we got it on the back. Drop it on the handle. All right, we're gonna drop it one more time in the nose. Still nothing. And what would happen if that gun went off is it would go like this. So you know the cap's working. The gun is actually, however, drop safe. At least this version for this amount of time is dropped. All right, next up is the Sig Compact. We're gonna actually have Bubba do the wiggle test because he's got stronger hands than me. We're gonna take up the trigger take up here, just like Wyoming Gun Project. Where we got this from, obviously, is Wyoming Gun Project. I wanna give a shout out to him because he obviously had a large viral video and he actually might be paying for it via some Sig issues. Wiggle it like this is what he did. He actually had a wood screw in here to hold the actual standard pressure. Okay. Although not only does that look weird and that caused a lot of people to get confused, but I didn't want to do it. So we're just gonna hold it with our finger, wobble it like this, wobble it back and forth, and see if we can get the firing pin to drop. Now you could see there's a ton of wobble in there, but it is not dropping. Give it a go.
So just right there?
Yep, just enough to where you don't let the trigger off. And you can see that slide flex back and forth. That is so much play. And that is one of the issues with the 320, and that's one of the reasons why this happens on some of the pistols, is because of how much flex there is in that actual slide. It's a lot more than a standard pistol. All right, same thing as the last time. Handle first. Oh, pop. Well, it's passing. This one also appears to have passed. All right, now we have our Sig X Compact that doesn't want to go in there. And we'll continue to beat the shit out of these Sigs. Well, I'd say this writing dot is about to die here in a minute when we drop it on the top, if I had to guess. All right, now here's where the writing dies. Maybe, maybe not. It didn't break.
You're right.
Damn, look at that. Took
that's a budget
shoulder height drop test on the concrete for the writing optic. How about that? I never would have guessed that in a million years. All right, now the last one, drop it on the nose. We'll drop it from higher up too.
Damn.
I was really hoping one of these had gone off by now. Yeah. Now, Bub's informed me that I am a terrible scientist and that I forgot to do the wiggle test first. Let's wobble this around and see if we can make this guy go off. Look how much wobble that is. If I had a 1911 that did this, I would throw it in the pond. Oh my God. Was that my trigger?
I don't know.
This is what I worry. Was it my trigger finger that pulled that?
I don't know.
So in the video, right, it's that the hammer drops from doing it though, right?
From twisting it back and forth, yeah.
Okay. So I'm not very scientific about this. Does it still reset after that? Do you get what I mean? Like
no, it wouldn't reset because the slide doesn't cycle.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not reset right now.
No, that's what I was saying. Is
yeah.
Like, would it feel different if it went off on its own versus like you?
No, I don't think it would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
That was a little subjective. Let's try another one. Luckily, Evan over at Battlehawk made me 100 of these, so I appreciate that. Oh, nice. The optics on here gives me a little bit of leverage. I am really cranking on that. You can see that. Nothing.
Okay.
There's a lot of wobble in there. You can see how this could happen in a large batch of pistols. I can't get it to go off though.
All right.
See? Okay. Now right here is a brand new X5 Legion. We got our shell in there, which I can barely get it out of the chamber. This is probably one of the most popular competition pistols on the market, or at least it was until it got banned in most competition a few months ago. And it's interesting to me that this could potentially not be drop safe, because a lot of people, when they're new to USPSA, often their gun will fly out of their holster, occasionally land on the ground. And obviously if your pistol's not drop safe, that can cause some issues. Now, one of the interesting things about drop safe pistols is not all popular pistols are actually drop safe in the first place. Matter of fact, my favorite type of pistol of all time, the Custom 2011, and the reason for that is because of their super high-end custom triggers and the way that the single action trigger system works in the 1911. Now, that's never been an issue really throughout history, but it is a thing to keep in mind. Let's see if this one, however, is drop safe. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our wobble test here. We're going to pull the trigger a little bit, wobble it around. Doesn't seem to have any wobble at all. This one's not nearly as wobbly because it's brand new and it's an X5 Legion. It's a lot heavier though, so maybe the weight will make it go off. Last one. All right, let's see if it goes off. Okay. And now we're going to commence the, what I call, extreme drop test. Bubs is out here helping us, and he requested that we drop these a little bit further, throw them a little bit harder. So that's what we're gonna do. There's no wrong time to rock. Do a little drop testing up here.
Didn't go off. Didn't go off. Nope. I can't tell on that one.
Do you want to leave them up there for a while? We just.
I'll get down eventually. There you go.
Yeet the gun.
That one hit hard.
Well, this is the silliest thing we've done in a while. All right, now we go see.
Grab that one.
This one's heavy, man.
Yeah, the Legion?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just shoot it once or what?
Yeah, let me put my ear pro on.
Shoot it in the direction of the berm. All right, that one did not go off.
I got this one.
All right. It's not the 500 card
Where's the
pickup.
other two? Oh shit, you got quite an
The
arm.
5 Sig pickup.
Oh, Chris, did you reload this one? He did not.
Oh, I didn't load that one.
Sorry,
I didn't
man.
load that one. That's my bad. We loaded this one though. You want to do the honors? You want me to do it?
Go ahead, man.
Wow. Well,
I'm amazed and slightly disappointed, to be honest with you. 100 plus drop tests, including the slow motion and including the cover photos, which you guys didn't see, where I threw all 5 of them up like 5 times in a row. I'm sure Larry's gonna put the pictures in to make fun of me.
I will.
But yeah, 100 plus drop tests, wiggle tests, nothing. I will say that the 320 is certainly not my favorite pistol. Would I carry this? Absolutely not. Because just because these didn't do it doesn't mean yours won't. I should mention that one more time, that just because all 5 of these guns didn't have any issues the entire time, didn't have any drop safe issues, doesn't mean that yours will not. And the reason for that is, again, difference in machining per thousandths of an inch on each individual part that's in the gun. Some of them have generational changes, some of them don't. Some of them have machined parts correctly, some of them don't. And I imagine this problem, if it is a problem, allegedly a problem, so I don't get sued, I imagine the problem is stacking tolerances in thousands and thousands of models. There's probably millions of 320s out there, and there's probably maybe 100 or 2 would be my guess that have had issues. Some of the other issues that you could have is wearing parts over time. And one of my biggest issue with the 320 has always been the lack thereof of a trigger safety. I would never, ever carry a striker fired gun that doesn't have a trigger safety on it. And the reason for that is pretty fucking obvious in my opinion. There's other things that I don't like about the 320 as well. First off, I like the idea of the 320. I like the ergonomics. I like the fact that it has a fire control unit, but what I don't like is the fact that it has a shitty recoil and pulse. And traditionally, even without being drop safe, they're pretty unreliable by comparison to an M&P, a CZ, or a Glock. So overall, our findings were none today. We gave it one hell of a try. If you like this type of video, let us know in the comment section below. It's kind of a new one for us. Our plan was to come out here and mess these 320s up as much as possible, see if we can get them to go off, and sadly, that did not happen. If you like this video though, make sure to like and subscribe. If you want us to do something else with these 320s, or if you want to see a different type of video like this, or maybe this video with other types of guns, put it in the comment section below. Please help out your local homeless shelters and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.